All right, I want to take a breath because it's been a heavy day following the breaking news out of Roseville this afternoon. Tonight, we can tell you that a person has been shot and killed after being taken hostage. Another person and a CHP officer were also shot. There are still a lot of unknowns as to how this all unfolded. It happened near Mahany Park at Pleasant Grove Boulevard and Wood Creek Oaks Boulevard. Young kids went into lockdown. The streets were crowded with neighbors, of course, asking questions and what was known as a quiet community. And now tonight, we're getting the first messages sent by police dispatchers as the situation was unfolding.
We have active gunfire around the station with ricochet around the station. I'd advise staging the Rayleighs off of Wood Creek and Pleasant Grove until it's clear.
We have one outstanding male in the field, black shirt, armed with a pistol. He's in the field and taking shots at officers.
Can you advise PD and responding units that we had Parks and Rec personnel hunkered down, hiding behind their outbuilding in front of Station 5? They're going to need clearance to evacuate the area. Be advised, we still have active gunfire all around the station.
And of course, we are still digging through this sound, and we'll have much more coming up tonight on Late News Tonight at 11. Again, all this happening in a very quiet community in Roseville. In all of 2022, the entire city only had 2 homicides. And we continue our team coverage tonight with this. Joining us, Roxanne Elias. She's near Roseville's Mahany Park. We have Alicia Machado, who is out at Sutter Roseville, where 3 people were taken. And then Devin Truby is outside a day camp that went into lockdown. But first tonight, we're going to start off with Jeannie Wynn. She is at the site of the incident and was one of the first reporters to arrive on the scene. Good evening, Jeannie. I know that you've been talking to a lot of neighbors. What do we know so far?
Alex, right now we're standing along Pleasant Grove, and behind me here is the scene, and it's still very much active. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a better look. You know, this is the entrance to Mahany Park, and it's been closed ever since this incident started at around 12:30. Roseville Police did give us an update about 2 hours ago, you know, and they said that this all started when a CHP officer tried to serve somebody with a search warrant. It's still unclear what that search warrant was, but Roseville Police today did say that that incident unfolded shortly after. Take a listen as to what happened.
Upon arrival, officers were confronted by the suspect, still carrying a gun and now seen running from officers on scene. Suspect began shooting as he was running from police and took 2 citizens hostage for a short time until officers arrived and confronted the suspect. The suspect then surrendered to officers on scene and was taken into custody.
All right.
One of them did not survive following this incident. And at this point, the suspect and the surviving victim are currently at the hospital. Their conditions are unknown at this point. Right now, police tell us that they are still investigating the scene. As you can see here, this access to Mahany Park is still closed. The situation is still unfolding. They're still trying to gather all their information. Again, this is under investigation and will provide us more details as they unfold throughout the night and possibly even into tomorrow. Alex, back to you.
All right, Jeannie, thank you again. This incident has left the community completely shocked. Our Roxanne Elias has been hearing from neighbors all day. They were lining the streets just looking for any answers that they could. So Roxanne Elias joining us now. Roxanne, what do we know so far this evening?
Well, Alex, earlier today, we kept being pushed back because they were trying to tape off the entire area. We're actually on one of the baseball fields here at Mahany Park, where people are calling it their second home. This is where families come, where students and young kids come to practice sports. Today, very unreal situation that they never thought they could imagine seeing happen here. We spoke to several residents that have lived here their entire lives. They said they've never even heard of a shooting happening in Roseville, much less some kind of situation like this. Take a listen to what they had to say.
I feel like it's one of the best cities probably in California to live in and grow up. Like, I graduated from Wood Creek High School. Like, I spent a lot of time at these sports fields, at the library, the parks, everything, and just having something hit literally at home is just, it's heartbreaking. Like,
just hits close to home. My son was just there on Tuesday playing with his friends. So all I can think about, is if my son was there today and that happened. I just can't even imagine. And I hope everyone's okay.
A very sad situation for families who know this place as a safe area, safe environment for them to come and hang out. Now, something else that I want to let you guys kind of paint the picture of what we saw out here and how scary it was for them is we actually saw some of these officers walking these children away from the area. Just very sad. Alex?
All right, Roxanne, thank you so much. I'm sure it was definitely a very surreal moment for so many families in that area. But I do want to go ahead and get over to ABC 10's Alicia Machado. She is live at Sutter Roseville tonight, learning more about the conditions of those victims. Alicia, I just want to clarify, everyone was brought to Sutter Roseville, correct?
Well, actually, Alex, we're learning tonight that 2 patients were brought here to Sutter Roseville Medical Center. 1 patient was brought to San Juan Mercy Medical Center. We're also learning today that 1 person is fighting for their life tonight here at Sutter. They are in critical condition. The other person is in stable condition, believed to be the police officer who was injured in that shooting near Mahany Park. We are working to confirm that information with CHP officials at this time. I have seen some crime scene investigations units in and around the hospital. Again, 1 person also brought to Mercy San Juan Medical Center tonight. In total, we have 3 people shot in this incident, according to police, a CHP officer and those 2 hostages. 1 hostage died at the scene and the other person was taken to the hospital. The CHP says their officer is in stable condition, being treated in the hospital for their injuries. We will continue to keep you updated on that officer's condition as we learn more about that. No word just yet on the injuries the suspect may have sustained. We were told by police that they were taken to the hospital, but we don't exactly know why or the extent of what they may have been facing after this incident. Again, so far we know that the officer is in stable condition. 1 victim is dead and another in critical condition tonight. We will continue to keep you updated on condition information as we learn it. We are in contact with the hospital tonight and we'll let you know more as we learn it, both on air and online at abc10.com. Alex?
Alicia, thank you. We are still trying to understand what happened in Roseville this afternoon. A person has been shot and killed after being taken hostage. Another person and a CHP officer were also shot, and a suspect is in custody. This all happened in a quiet community around Mahany Park. Wood Creek High School is in this area, and thankfully, they were on spring break. I want to bring in our Devin Truby. She has been hearing from the children from a camp that had to go on lockdown. Good evening, Devin. What information can you tell us tonight?
Well, Alex, I can tell you that we are the last people here, which means that all staff and students have headed home from what has been a long and emotional day. When we first were on the scene at 3 o'clock, there were about 4 students left that still needed to be picked up, and there was this overwhelming sense of relief as parents were able to see their children in person. By 4 o'clock, staff members came out and told us that all 27 students that were brought over from the camp at Mahany Park had been reunited safely with their family. We talked to one of those campers, Matthew, that's who you heard from at the beginning of this show, who told us that he was on the baseball field eating ice cream when they heard multiple gunshots ring out. They ran for cover at the library, and he kept track of time. They were locked down for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Hear from his father on what he was going through while his son was waiting for him.
My wife was so worried, so she called me to just pick her up. She tried to pick him up in an actual location, but it blocked.
Now, we are just 1 block down and 1 block over from Mahany Park, where all the students were brought here by bus. Now, we are also hearing from the city of Roseville that runs this Parks and Recreation camp that all operations will resume as normal tomorrow, which is good news because the campers we talked to, Alex, they said that they want to come back tomorrow. They want to be with their friends for that support, and I'm sure a lot of important conversations happening at dinner tables tonight about what to do in these unfortunate situations, Alex.
Thank you, Devin. And our team is continuing to cover this story, trying to learn the names of the victims and also what led up to this incident. So we are committed to bringing you those updates as we get them.